Okay, guys, well, we're in Dub 2 at the moment with the famous Mike Stewart. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
More infamous.
Now, more infamous, there you go. Well, Mike, he's up and down and round and round. He never stops going from one show to the other. I'm going to let Mike explain a little bit about exactly what dub mixing is.
Well, as Mark says, we're here in Dub 2, which is towards the end of the process. So you've either been out on location filming or you've been in the studios. That footage then goes to our ingest department. They'll ingest it, which means getting that information from, be it a camera or a drive or wherever, onto some sort of storage that we can use here. And that can be networked across the whole of Doc 10's operating system, the ISIS system. So each area then can pick up that material. It will usually then go from ingest. An editor will pick that up in one of the edit suites. They'll do what's called an offline edit normally. So that means putting the program together.
Yeah,
Getting it into its most basic form. I have to say, usually it comes out there in a pretty good state. But then on from that would be a grading stage, which is where you'd look at all the blacks and the whites and the colours and looking at the picture and getting it really shining, looking good. The online, add in the captions, any graphics, checking the technical aspects of the show. And then the dub, sorting out all the audio, which has always been a problem. Lots of letters coming in to the BBC to say, oh, the music's too loud, or we can't hear the presenter.
I've noticed a few programmes recently where people have been emailing in saying that the audio's too low and everything else like that. Now, will that be from when they actually film it and you can't push it any higher? Or
no, ultimately I'm responsible for that. We have had issues recently about actors mumbling. There's not a lot you can do about that.
Yeah.
Although we do get them in to re-record their lines. ADR it's called, so we'll replace those lines that.
And I suppose the lines are a lot easier as well to record when you're looking at the back of the head.
Oh, absolutely.
Rather than the lip
doing the lip
syncing.
sync. But there's ways and means, and we'll do our best to do that. But ultimately, I'm responsible for what goes out. So yeah, those criticisms solely at the dubbing mixer.
Yeah. So how long have you been in the trade now?
A very long time. I joined the BBC in 1980.
Right.
So I worked I came in the film department in those days, worked at Ealing and Lime Grove and Telecentre, worked here in New BH on Oxford Road for the BBC for just under 20 years.
And the difference between analogue and digital? A lot easier for you guys?
Well, it's an interesting one. You would think that, wouldn't you? But a producer once said to me, once we'd made the move over to this new medium, we're all digital and we don't have to worry about sync and stuff like that. But, a producer from Songs of Praise questioned me one day and said, I don't understand why you've got all this new technology. Yeah. And yet it still takes the same length of time to finish a programme. And so I said to him, well, the thing is, I could work on your soundtrack for weeks. Yeah. As you do with feature films. Yeah. It can go on and on, add in the little finessing bits and pieces. What we do is work to a timescale. So, we're booked in to, do a 10-hour day. I'll give them 10 hours of my best work. And he was really surprised to hear that we actually worked to time. Yeah. Rather than what the programme's done. So I said, yes, I've got technology. I can do all sorts of things that we never used to be able to do, which I'm doing. But we're doing even more than we would ever do. Yeah. And we're cutting out little syllables and pasting them somewhere else and making people say stuff, taking down background noises and what have you. And digital, fantastic. All this technology is wonderful. It's what you do with it. And
I suppose as well with the archive of different sound effects and everything else that you've got, it must be a lot easier just to go into a drive, to go to something, try it, not happy, go back, try another one, rather than CDs, tapes and
all
everything
that
else,
stuff, yeah.
which chews a lot of your time up.
If you can imagine, in days gone by, when I started, it was vinyl records. So you'd get the thing queued up, put the needle in the right place, so you're going to get that lion roar, and then you'd have to guess how long it was going to take to spin up and hit the button at the right point and fade it up to get it in sync with the picture. That's how we did it. Bit different now. You give me ask me something. Ask me for a sound effect.
Let's have a lion roaring.
Let's have a lion. There you go. There's a lion. We've come up with 426 lions.
As quick as that. Which, gives you a little bit more time to concentrate on all the other bits and pieces.
Finessing everything else.
Which is really good.
Yeah.
A few people occasionally actually come to us and say, what would be the best way to start in a certain area of media? As from your side, obviously you don't want to give your job up to anyone, but is there any hints out there where to start, maybe as a runner or something like that?
Yeah, it's really difficult, isn't it? Because again, previously there were schemes within ITV or BBC where people were brought up through the ranks, so there'd be an assistant dubbing mixer position. Yeah. And there was a natural progression. Now it's a lot more difficult. People usually come at it from two aspects. They're either into music. Yeah. I was a DJ. That's what I did. DJing, got into doing PA and that sort of thing, and it led its path. If you're an out-and-out musician, it's probably not the best place to be. Yeah. Because we cannibalise music all the time. Yeah. And it's, there's only a small percentage of what we do is about music. A lot of what we do is repairing sound. Yeah. Having said that, anybody with that zest for audio usually starts by going out and doing their own films or in groups after uni or whatever, putting soundtracks to bits of video that they've made. And there are an abundance of filmmakers out there wanting good sound guys to come along and do sound design for them, record on the road. So there are opportunities to get in at that level. Yeah. And then, get that work out to people. And show them.
It's basically showing people the great place YouTube, showing people what you're made of, what you can do. Yeah. And there's people out there, I suppose, like football scouts. You'll have media scouts out there where they're looking and they go, I like that gear.
It's all about who you know in this business. But what happens is you'll find that the editor that happened to be on that job that he did a really good job, sound job on, will then say, hey, do you know, I know someone who's really nice on the, really good, got a good musical background, it'd be great for this job. And suddenly you find your way in, and from that, the producer, the director move on to something else and say, hey, do you know what? Love you to do this. And that's what's happened for me, really, is that job by job, I got a really good name for myself, doing some of the music things like Tom Jones and The Cause and stuff like that. And from that, it built and built. Done some great stuff.
Brilliant. I know you're busy, so just have one last one, which is, how long have you been at Doc 10 now?
Doc 10, probably coming up 3 years now, I would imagine.
And what do you think of the facilities?
Oh, fantastic, isn't it? There's nowhere else that comes close to it. Certainly outside the M25. But we've got everything here. We're able to offer the full package. And what impresses people is how quickly stuff can be moved in and out of the different areas. And that, it's totally flexible. There's nothing going to, baffle us. Stop us,
the one thing that we absolutely loved, me and Steve, which was on Furchester, where they're having a live link up to the was it the iPods over in America?
Yeah, absolutely.
So instead of having to wait for a decision from the director that he wanted the camera to move to for, or whatever, it was instantaneous,
they were all there.
which once again saving money.
And it's brilliant. Same with Dragon's Den. You know, being able to use the Pie Factory was done for that.
Yeah.
But linked back to here, so we've got the media straight away. It's on our servers. It's ready to go.
It's brilliant.
You know, it's cut out a load of possible faults along the way and losing media and stuff. It's on the system. It's worked really well.
It's brilliant. Anyway, Mike, listen, it's been really nice chatting to you, mate.
Good to see you, sir.
And we will be going a little bit like Star Wars. We're starting, I suppose, from the end, and we're going to take you back through time, through post. So stay tuned.